a year a kind wa Ghana Hunsen. On near Becassa, we are questions. It is a war question beer, Mr. Utu Bisa. I'm sure say be also much tree. Or more Ghana, they be able to tree and almost in crime. Ubisa, Omiano, and then the Vinya interpreter. So for my friends who speak as well, fire, about if you can't be questions and answers. They will call a question, I will answer where my agenda will be question. So I've got Portia here with me. Portia, you're welcome. I hand over to you.
Hello. Thank you so much. Yourself. Thank you. Okay, so good afternoon to you all, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to speak to you about our solution. So my name is Portia Minta. I'm a representative from Enterprise Life. We have a solution called Akwantupa, and it's specifically designed for Ghanaians living abroad. So today I'm here to introduce that solution to you. I'm on here with my colleague. His name is Fred Ejay. Fred, please, can you say hi if we are online? Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Fred. So if it's okay to share slides, if you permit me, Mr. Obo, I have some slides I've prepared that I'd like to share, if that's okay.
Yeah, you've got a permission.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let me just share my screen now. Okay, so kindly let me know if you see my screen.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, you are on, Portia.
All right, thank you so much, okay, for confirming that. So as I mentioned, we have a solution called Akwantupa. It is a solution designed for Ghanaians abroad. So this is what I'll be presenting to you. But if you're going to any relationship or partnership with anyone, you would want to know who the person is or who the company is. So if you permit me, I would like to say something brief about ourselves, our company, and what we've accomplished over the period. And then I'll go on with the solution itself. So as you can see on my screen here, this is our head office. It's located near the Ridge Hospital in Accra. But you can find us in all the 13 regions, out of the 16 regions. You can find us in the 13 regions of the country, Ghana. In Accra, we have a lot of offices, but in most of the other regions, we have 2 or 1 offices located everywhere. So my presentation will be brief. I'll first of all like to introduce you to the Enterprise brand. So Enterprise Life is a trusted brand that has been in Ghana for over 21 years now. And some of our solutions, we deliver individual life solutions, group solutions, so products for groups. And then we have also products for companies, so corporate insurance products. And we've done this in the Ghanaian markets for a long time. Our vision is that in all our markets, people will recognize our pedigree, our strength will be respected, our expertise will be valued, and our solutions will be sought by everyone who desires an advantage in life. So you'll see this in our solutions and all that we do. And we also say that we are here to provide all who come into contact with us their desired advantage in life, because we are the best at what we do. So this last point, being the best at what we do, my other slides will show why we say we are the best at what we do. So a little bit more about us. Our parent company is Enterprise Insurance. It's been in Ghana for 98 years. We prepare, I think I missed this a bit. I say 96 here on the slide, but it's actually 98 years. So I'm sure some of you may know or may have had products with Enterprise Insurance when you were in Ghana. We were incorporated as Enterprise Life in the year 2000 and received our license to operate in 2001. So you see that I say we've been here for 98 years, but then, you know, we still have 20 years experience. That's just because our parent company is EIC, but then in the year 2000, the government required that insurance companies should separate their life business from their general business. And that is where a split came in and we formed Enterprise Life. So we are a member of a company called Enterprise Group PLC, which is listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. It's been listed since 1991. And so this company has 8 subsidiaries under its umbrella. One of it is Enterprise Life, which is where I'm coming from. The other one is Enterprise Insurance, which is a parent company. And then we have Enterprise Trustees. It's a private pensions company in Ghana. It's also the leader in the private pensions space in Ghana now. We also have Enterprise Transitions, which is a funeral service company. They do funerals for people of all walks of life. I don't know if some of you noted, but during the funeral of the late ex-president Rawlings, Mr. Arthur, and as well as Kofi Annan, they were the people who organized the burial arrangements. And so they do funerals for people of all walks of life. We also have Acacia Health, which is a health insurance company. And then we have Enterprise Properties. We've gone outside Ghana. We have Enterprise Life in Nigeria, and then Enterprise Life in the Gambia as well. And we also, Enterprise Group is it has a strategic partner. It is Prudential USA. I'm sure some of you may know it is a financial giant, one of the Fortune 500 companies. So they are our strategic partner. So when it comes to expertise in insurance products and financial products, they have given us that expertise and that backing to be able to give the best to our customers. Also, some couple of months or years ago, there was an issue of capitalization in the country, Ghana. Some banks were not fully capitalized, so they had to merge. Others had to be pushed, quote unquote, out of business. But in the insurance industry too, the National Insurance Commission, which is a body that regulates insurance companies in Ghana, took some lessons from this and also moved its minimum capital requirement from 15 million Ghana cedis to 50 million. And so by setting this, all insurance companies were supposed to meet this minimum capital requirement. So as I speak to you now, we are fully capitalized. We have met and exceeded our minimum capital requirement by 400%. So when it comes to issues of capitalization, you can trust that you don't have any issues with us. And we are also the leading life insurance company in Ghana. We've been a leader since 2016. So when you come to Ghana now and you're looking for the best insurer, or the insurer that is well known, a good brand in the country, it is Enterprise Life. And then we are also the highest premium income earners amongst all the 47 insurers in Ghana, both life and general business. We are the highest income premium income earner. This happens when you have a lot of clients. They trust your products and your solutions, and they have a good claims experience. So they keep on buying and referring others, and so that allows you to grow your premium income. So when it comes to that, we are also the #1 in that space. And then we are, for this solution that I'm introducing to you, we are the pioneers of this solution in Ghana. Some few years ago, people in Ghana did not want to hear anything about funerals because the idea is that if you speak about it or you do anything about it, then it means you are rushing or thinking, wishing that things should happen. But we were able to break that myth in the Ghanaian market and pioneer this funeral solution. And now every insurance company in Ghana has a funeral solution for people. And then, as I mentioned, we have subsidiaries in the Gambia and in Nigeria. We've won some awards over the period, which affirms that we are the best at what we do. So even this solution has been recognized as the most innovative product in the year 2020 at the Ghana Insurance Awards. So these are some of the awards that we win every year. We win some awards because of our expertise. Our brand ambassadors, we look for people who could merge with our values and what we stand for. And so we went to Diana Hamilton and Kofi Kinata. Everybody knows that they have a certain brand that they're trying to protect as well. So they had to do some research to know whether they're even partnering with the right brand. And so after that research, they settled on us. And so they are now our brand ambassadors. In fact, this evening at the Dominion Center at 6 p.m., Diana has annual concert, gospel concert, and we are the title sponsors. So some of our managers and even some of our promoters are there, and we are going to even reward some of our clients who have been loyal to us over the period at the event. So it is happening right now at the Dominion Center. Okay, so now that I've spoken about us, now what is the solution that we are trying to offer to you this evening? As I mentioned, it's a funeral solution. Akwantupa is a funeral solution designed by Enterprise Life. We did it for Ghanaians living abroad. It allows you to cover your family members who are here in Ghana. And if anything should happen to that covered person, you won't have to stress about how to raise funds to bring back home. You get a benefit from the policy to take care of that. We also have a special optional benefit known as repatriation cover for the policyholder who also lives abroad, or any other family member that may be living abroad as well. I'll speak more about that as we go along. So the solution is aimed at eliminating the stress that almost always comes with funeral financing, especially for our part of the world in Ghana. And knowing that when we have relatives abroad, and the stress that will bring on you financially, the policy just aims at eliminating that stress. So you can pay a contribution and cover up to 4 family members. It could include yourself as a policyholder for our repatriation benefits, or you could do it for just family members in Ghana. Upon the demise of the person you've covered, a benefit will be paid out to you. And this benefit, you can actually decide to receive it as a lump sum cash. So we transfer it to you any way you want, whether in your account or in an authorized person's account. Or apart from taking the lump sum, you could also ask to convert it to buy services from enterprise transitions. So if you don't want the hassle of having family members, take care of the arrangements and the planning, where they may misuse the funds we bring, you may end up paying more than what is due. You can't hold anybody accountable when things go wrong. You can actually convert your lump sum to buy service from enterprise transitions, who are professionals. You hold them accountable. They'll account for every penny that is spent. You would even have control of the donations that come at the funeral, people give at the funeral event. So these are the options available. So we know that currently Ghanaians are financing funerals by taking out loans, and some have savings, so they would dip into it and take it and send it back home. Other people would take on extra time, overtime at work, just to quickly raise the funds. Some people will also go a step further to ask for voluntary donations. Sometimes even require that you do the funeral abroad before you come and do the main one here in Ghana. Because of that heavy dependence that we here in Ghana have on you out there financially, anything that happens in the family that has financial implications will quickly call you, expect you to bring funds down here to cater for that. And one of it is funerals. And so when it happens, these are the ways that for a long time, Ghanaians abroad have been financing funerals. But with Akwantupa, you get a stress-free way of funding the funerals, because you have some immediate lump sum benefit that will help you to even start catering for things immediately. You have the convenience of opting for that services from enterprise transitions. One other thing, people sometimes say money can buy peace of mind, but sometimes it can with a solution like this. So you have total peace of mind, knowing that if anything should happen, you don't have to worry about what your financial position will be at that time, because whatever happens, you would have a benefit from the policy, which is an assured, a guaranteed sum that you can use to cater for the expenses. And then also, the way our setting is, cultural setting is set up here in Ghana. If a person in your family pass away, sometimes it can even be an extended family member, but people would expect you to contribute. And being abroad, we have so much high expectations of you. If you're not able to send money down, it affects your reputation in the family a bit, especially if it has to do with a close family member, like a parent or in-law, or even an auntie or an uncle. If you are not able to send inadequate money to support the burial, it can be an embarrassment. But with Akwantupa, you don't have to worry about any of that, because as soon as it happens, you can claim for your benefit to cater for the expenses. So these are the benefit cover options we have. We have a funeral cover for family in Ghana, so you can cover any family member you have here in Ghana. We also have the optional repatriation benefit for the policyholder. There are some people who live outside Ghana who would wish to be brought back home for burial if they pass away abroad. Some people even have their parents telling them that if I pass away, bring me to Ghana. If I pass away, send me back to Ghana. So you have the opportunity of using the repatriation to cover them as well. So if the person passes away abroad, their mortal remains will be brought back to Ghana. That expenses that will come up, that cost of transporting them from one country to Ghana, clearing at the Ghana airport. You will need a funeral home to receive the body at the airport and take it to their morgue to store it for a maximum of 30 days. All these things are covered under the repatriation benefit option. And so these are the cover options we have. These are the values or the sums that you can actually take up on the policy for every single life that you cover. So we have our minimum cover of from 10,000 Ghana cedis and the maximum of 70,000 Ghana cedis. Now, how we advise clients to select the options is that we ask them to look at their own family setup. If they have siblings, they should let them know that there's something like Akwantupa, so that if you have, let's say, 3 siblings, then all of you could probably take up the 30,000 to cover. Everybody can buy their own policy to cover the same parents. So if we have 3 siblings, we can all buy it to cover our mother. Everybody, one person can decide to choose 30,000, another can take 50,000, another can take 20,000. If death occurs, we'll have to pay everybody, and that becomes that person's contribution towards the burial expenses. But if you are outside and you know that you are the only breadwinner, you know, everything that has to do with money, you are called upon to bring it up, then you know that if you are taking up the cover, you need to go for a higher cover because most of the funding will come from you. So this is how you can choose the benefit packages from there. Of course, the benefits you choose, you know, determines your premium that you pay. So that is also a factor to consider when you are selecting. But if you have like 4 people to cover, you can select different benefit options. So if it's a parent, then you know that you want to do it in a proper way, and so you might want to go for a higher cover for your mother or your father. And if you are covering maybe an uncle who may have children and those ones to contribute, then you can put them on to cover for maybe 20 or 30,000 because you know, you don't have much responsibility when it comes to somebody like an uncle. So these are the benefit options that you can choose from to cover all the 4 people that you want to cover. These are the entry ages of our solution. So for a policy holder or a spouse, of course, the legal age is 18 currently in Ghana. So you can't be less than 18 at the time you are signing up. For any other family member you want to cover, like a mother, father, in-law, uncles and aunties, the age gap that we require makes it important that the person should be 31 years or lower or more. So biologically, a 13-year-old should be able to give birth, not less than 13. So if you are 18 and you're taking up the cover, then your mother or your father that you're covering can't be less than 31. And so that is what we mean by the entry age for other family members being 31. But for siblings, it's 1 year because, you know, you can have old parents who have a child late in life, and so and you want to cover that child too. So for siblings, the age entry age is 1 year. So these are our premium features. Once you start the policy and you take it up, you can opt to pay monthly. So we have customers who pay every month. We send them a notification to remind them, and they make their payments. Some also decide to pay quarterly. So every 3 months, they bulk it up in 3 months, and every 3 months they make their payments. Others also pay biannually, every 6 months or annual. So you can choose anyone that suits, you know, your own circumstances. For the payment methods, you can remit to us through some of our remittance partners. That is Unity Link, Pay Angel. These are our remittance partners. We actually have presence on their platform. So when you go there, you can easily make your payments. And apart from these partners, there are other applications like TapTapSend, World Remit, SendWave. Many of these applications have come up. You can use any of them to make the payment to us, and it's a bank transfer. So we'll give you an account, and then once you remit it, it comes into the account. And we also have an online option. So we have a secure payment platform, a MasterCard platform, and then we have an Express Pay platform. Any of these allow you to make your payments with your bank cards. Because the platform is secure, we actually buy license to secure it regularly. So you know that it is safe to use your cards there. You can pay with your card online. And then the last option is direct debits, but this is for people who have accounts in Ghana, bank accounts in Ghana. And some clients have bank accounts in Ghana, so they use it to make their payments. And they give us a mandate, we send it to the bank, and the bank will remit it based on the payment frequency the client has selected. You have the ability to choose different benefit options on the policy, like I explained in the earlier slide. So when you're covering 2 or 3 people, you don't have to choose maybe 20,000 for all of them. You can choose 20 for one, 30 for the other, 60 for the other person as well. And we all know what inflation has become in recent times. Now, most countries are dealing with a very high inflation. Well, our policies were designed with thinking, we thought about the future when we designed it. This policy was introduced in 2017. Nobody thought that in Ghana we would have inflation going in the 30s and all that. So before it's the economic situation became what it is, we designed a policy to with a feature called optional benefits updates. You can opt to grow your benefits every year. So if you selected, let's say 50,000, it doesn't have to remain at 50,000 forever or for as long as the person you covered is alive. You can grow it year on year by 11.25%. And that ensures that at any time that the person passes away, whatever the economic situation is, the benefits will have good value and can be used to cater for the expenses that will come up. But this comes at a slight cost. Your premium, whatever you pay monthly or annually or biannual, would increase by 15%. For people who decide to pay every 6 months or yearly, we give them discounts. So we have 6.5% discount and 13% discount for those options. The policy has a payment term. We've designed it for a minimum of 15 years. So most of our solutions in the past were whole life. You had to pay and pay and pay until the person passes away. So we have people who even started the company with us when we started in 2001. They had policies, and as now nobody has passed away. And sometimes they work in, trying to want to cancel the policy because like they're not seeing the value. So based on that, we have enhanced our policies, products as we go along. And this solution has a 15-year payment term. So when you sign up, although it's a whole life and you can do it for as long as the person is alive, there are some options that you will come up which you need to take any of those options at the 15th year. And I'll explain that as I move on to the other part of the slide. So you can cover up to 100 years. The age limit, we say this solution is a no age limit because you can cover up to 100 years. And for that matter, even grandparents can be covered. So anybody in your family who is even in the 90s, 80s, you can actually cover them. And enterprise life, we are able to give this cover. Most of the solutions in Ghana now, and even in some countries, the limitation is up to 74 or 75. And if you want to even go higher than that, it requires you to do certain things before you qualify to cover somebody who's older. But it all boils down to capacity to pay claims. So because we have done this for so long, we have built capacity, people like our products, and so they keep on growing our premium income. We are able to cover people up to 100 years. And we have just a waiting period on the policy. As an insurance company, we are risk assessors. So when we are taking on the risk, we need to put things in place that will mitigate people who select against us. So people who know that, okay, this person has been told that you have just 2 months or so and so months to live, and then they quickly come and take the cover, and then benefits, just pay 2 months of benefits. So we have put this in place to protect ourselves against the people who knowingly know that this person's about to die, because insurance is about uncertainty. Although we know that death will occur, we just don't know when. So everybody in the portfolio must be in that mindset. And so we have a 6 months waiting period. Once you start making your first payments, the 6 months waiting period is activated. And during that time, during the 6 months, if death does not occur, if death occurs, you will not be able to claim a benefit because you wouldn't have qualified during that time. But I'm sorry about that. I think I was getting an incoming call. Okay, so during the 6 months waiting period, if death occurs, you do not qualify to claim. So you will not be entitled to any benefits. You must necessarily run the policy past the 6 months waiting period before, if anybody passes away, you can claim a benefit. If you add somebody on the policy after the policy has started, that person has a 12-month waiting period. There's no waiting period when you cover yourself as a policyholder for the repatriation and death occurs accidentally through an accident. There's no waiting period for that. So if you pay just 1 month, we pay your benefits out to you. We have a feature called annual cashback that allows you to take 5% of your annual premium if nothing happens. So this is like a no claim discount. So if nobody passes away, you can get some value out of your policy. Some clients even use it for their premiums when it is due. And then if anybody decides to terminate the policy at some point in time, we pay back a 10% as a surrender value. I mentioned that the policy has a 15-year term. So at the 15th year, you would have 3 options. The first option is that you might recognize that insurance is key to you because the person that you are covering is even old. And so the risk of passing away is still very high. And so you would want to continue with the policy as it is. Keep on paying your premiums to enjoy the sum assured, which may have grown over the period if you chose the optional benefits update. But the other option too is what we call 100% risk premium refund. So at the 15th year, some clients can decide that, hey, I want to stop paying for the policy. Please return back the contributions I made. So return all your premiums minus any administrative charges that you may have incurred over the period. So that is what we call risk premium. So return your premiums without policy fee and any other administrative charges. And then you can, once you take that back, you have ended the policy. If you want cover for the person that you covered, you still have to take up a new policy to cover the person. And then the third option is what we call premium waiver. So for that, if at the 15th year, you can decide to stop paying premiums, but you do not take back any refund of premiums. So what you do is that you save your insurance cover. So if you started with, let's say, 50,000 and your benefit has grown up to, assuming 200,000, at that time you can say, save my 200,000. Anytime that this person I've covered pass away, I'll come and take it, but I'm no longer paying premiums. So it's like you stop paying premiums, but you have your cover intact for you. We also have for death waiver. It is very good for people who recognize that even when they pass away first, they want their purpose of taking up the policy to remain intact. And so that keeps the policy running even when the policyholder has passed away and is no longer paying premiums. But the caveat here is that you must be 49 or less at the time of signing up to enjoy special benefits. And you can assign the policy, to take a loan facility from Ghana. So these are some of our unique selling positions: the 15-year term, the 100% risk premium refund or the waiver. We have up to 70,000 in benefits. Here in Ghana, no company is offering up to 70,000 in life cover benefits. So we are the first to introduce this. The accidental death benefits I mentioned, the death waiver, the ability to choose your payment frequency. If death occurs within the waiting period, we don't pay the claim, but you get to take back 50% of the premiums you paid within that period. And of course, assigning the policy to take a loan facility. So this slide just shows a little bit about the services that enterprise transitions can give if you opt for the repatriation or if you want to convert your lump sum cash to buy services. These are the basics you need to do a funeral. The rest, which is like entertainment, quote unquote, catering and all that, you can pay for it. Enterprise transitions can actually provide all those services. So for claims, one very important slide is about claims, because all that I'm saying today, it boils down to this. So when it comes to claiming, it's a very simple process. You fill a claim form, which will provide. Once you notify us that a person on the policy has passed away, we'll give you the form to complete. You after completing the form, you send it back along with proof of death. So a death certificate or a medical certificate of cause of death, an ID of the person that has passed away, and then an ID of you, the policyholder. Or if you're authorizing us to pay to somebody, you give that person's ID to us. Within 48 hours, we'll work on the claim and process and pay out to whatever account you ask us to pay to. But after that, you should expect to receive the benefits within a maximum of 5 working days, depending on which bank you are asking us to pay the funds into. So this is a bit about our claims history. We launched this product in 2017. Currently, we have over 2,006 individual policies on our files, on our books. Out of this 2,006, only 147 people have claimed. That represents just 7% of our file size. This slide is here to show people, some people have misconceptions that if they do a funeral policy, then by all means, the person they are covering will pass away. And so based on that, they're interested, they know the solution will help, but they refuse to do it because they don't want to have anything like a funeral solution for somebody they love. But this is proof that it doesn't mean that buying the policy would, speed up the occurrence of the events. It will happen if it should. It may not happen. The policy has no relation to the time the person will pass away. And our claims history confirms that. So 2006 people, but only 147 have actually lost a loved one on the policy and filed a claim. Even this number, we have some people with duplicates claims in there. So there are some people who have filed claims, especially this woman that you see on the screen. This is a woman giving us a testimony. She's in Amsterdam. She has actually filed claims twice because she bought a solution, she benefited, and she realized it was good, and she bought another one, the person passed away. So this is just to show you that if you buy Akwantupa, the person you are covered will not pass away just because you have bought the solution. And out of that, we've paid 108 people, so 73% have actually received their claim benefits and use it for the purpose for which they bought. So this shows that we also pay claims. Well, as long as it is due, will pay. But here with the waiting period people, this is made up of some people who were skeptical, didn't really trust our brand, and we're not sure that if they do it, the person will pass away or not, gave reasons, but later on decided to take it up. And they unfortunately didn't qualify when the person passed away, so we weren't able to pay them. So if you are here today and you feel that this solution is something that will really help you, we would urge you to consider it quickly, take the decision, because however, whatever happens, you actually get to benefit. It doesn't mean that the person will pass away, but it is something that will give you some peace of mind now. So that's the benefit you get. And if the event should occur, you also get the lump sum that would help you to cater for the expenses. So I'll skip that. Those are testimonials. I can share it with Mr. Obo, who will share it on the platform for you to listen to what some of our clients who have benefited are saying to us. Okay, so my last slide, why anyone listening to me today should sign up to this solution. I'm not just saying this because I work here. I have seen what it has done to some of my clients since 2017 who trusted it and started benefiting from this. The peace of mind, as I mentioned earlier on, it is something that we cannot understate. It really gives you peace of mind now. And our Ghanaian family values is set up in such a way that when funerals occur, you cannot take yourself out. You would have to be a part, especially in terms of financing it. And so the policy will give you that access to funds that you can use to take care of that. There's a need among Ghanaians abroad. We did a research before we introduced the solution, and the research confirmed that it's a big need in Ghanaian communities abroad. So I'm sure that Ghanaians in Glasgow, as you have converged here, you would recognize that this is something you need. And so if you do that, then please don't hesitate to take up the solution quickly. It's a better way to raise funds to bury your loved ones, because you get to avoid taking out your savings, loans, working extra shifts and all that, and changing your financial position really just because somebody in your family has passed away. It helps you to avoid family conflicts because money brings a lot of conflicts, especially at funerals. But if you have the Akwantupa solution, you are not worried about even what they call the Yaseka, where after the funeral, the family says to, discuss what expenses were made and all that and share it among the family, because you have your lump sum to use to cater for that. It's a dignified way to bury your loved ones. Once you have the funding, you can bury your loved one in a dignified way and get to say goodbye to them in the proper way. And Akwantupa actually lessens the effects of that terrible event. So imagine having lost a loved one and not having money to send back home when they inform you. You can all attest to that. It will put a lot of pressure on you. So if you have the Akwantupa, it even makes the event a bit bearable, because you don't have to couple the emotional feelings with the fact that you don't have funds to bring back home. And lastly, it helps you to keep your reputation intact in the family once you're able to support. So this is a bit of our contact information. You can find us on any of these numbers, and we have a website, akwantupa.com. Mr. Obo will share the link. If anybody is interested, they can go there, read about it, and sign up. Or they can give their number, allow Mr. Obo to share their contact information with us. One of our representatives will call, give you all the information you need to make that informed decision to sign up and get yourself on cover. So thank you so much for listening to me. At this point, I'll end my presentation, and then we can take questions if there are any. Thank you.
Thank you, Portia.
Thanks very much, Portia, for your presentation. If you can stop sharing the slide, and then I can see. At this stage, Portia has invited questions. Maybe we want to take 2 questions at a time, and then we get Portia to respond. I'm sure it's a presentation in Waye Kakra. And say, oh, question this so Saswa, which means reactions now as for so won't miss say where the whole way of Bema Saswa, na Yamao Ebisa Portia na we. And 3 people have raised their hands. I've got Felix, Paul, and Elizabeth. So Felix, I think your hand went up first. So please unmute yourself.
Okay, thanks, Portia. Thanks for the 100 miles an hour presentation. You must be exhausted. Thanks very much for that. It's something that I have been interested in the past. I've interacted with either yourself or somebody else from your organization, either by phone or email or chat and things like that. The only reason I haven't taken it up is a question that I've got, which is basically, you mentioned a bit about the death waiver. What I want to find out basically is that I am the oldest in my family. So what happens when I die and I stop paying the premiums? I'm more than 49 years old. Will my family benefit from it? So I die first, I paid premiums, I die in 10 years time, right? And then I paid premiums, then what happens to them? Are they able to claim? Because once I die, I stop paying premiums. So I just want to find out whether it will be of any benefit for me taking up this policy, because I'm going to die first. Please.
Okay. Pasha, do you want to respond before I will take Paul's question?
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Felix, for your question, and thank you for recognizing that it was an 100-hour, race for me with the presentation. Okay, so thank you. The question you asked, in fact, it is something that we are dealing with now. Currently, how we are managing it is that if you have to select a next of kin on your policy once you set it up. And so you can actually, we allow the next of kin to take over the policy if the policy holder has passed away. So we have a few clients, I think about 2 who have passed away and didn't have the waiver. So their next of kin, one of it was a spouse. The spouse also have insurable interest in the parents of his deceased husband, and so she was able to take over the policy. She pays the premium. If anything should happen, she can claim to cater for the burial expenses. We have another one who is a woman who was in the UK. She passed away. The son has taken over the policy because she did it to cover her mother, and the son has an insurable interest in the grandparents, and so he's able to take over the policy payments. And so if anything should happen, a claim can still be paid. The premiums are essential to the policy. Without premiums, the benefits cannot be sustained or cannot be made active. And so if payments are not coming in, it affects the status of the policy. And that's why we have the death waiver. But if we are going above 49, it also has implications on the premium. If we have to put in a waiver for people above 49, and it will make the product very expensive for the average person to buy, and that's why we had to limit it to 49. So currently, how we are managing this is, as I've said, we use your trustee. The trustee can take over the policy once the policy holder is no more.
Uncle Felix, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Am I still? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, it answers my questions really, but it's just that I feel that it's not suitable for me because none of my siblings in Ghana can afford the premium. So, and the reason I'm taking it is not for me. I don't need insurance while I'm here, and I've got insurance while I'm in the UK. I need insurance for them, but they can't afford the premiums once I pass away. So that was the query. So, but she's answered the question.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Felix, sorry, I need to add this. So we also have another version of the policy that has death waiver for people age 54. It was the first version of that policy, but we've enhanced it over the period. And so sometimes we allow people to take up the old version if for any reason they are concerned about the waiver and that is what they need. We would actually customize a solution for the policy holder. So we have that available and you can actually take that up instead. But the benefits for that one, it ends at 50,000. So you may not be able to take up to 70,000 cover.
Right.
Okay.
Paul.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Paul, can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Okay. Thank you very much, Isaac, and thank you, Madam, for your presentation. I appreciate it. I have 3 questions, and the first one is personally, I have a policy with you in Ghana, right? And this funeral policy, can I upgrade that one to this Akwantupa, or that one stand on its own? Secondly, in terms of legal implications, is the policy covered by the UK laws, or is only Ghana law, or because the company is coming from Ghana? Is there any? Then thirdly, if in case you don't get to the exact age for the one you are covering, let's say there's 6 months, you said that before 6 months you will not pay. After 6 months, are you going to pay all the cover, or you're going to pay some? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I would answer the first 2, but I will need you to clarify the last question when I'm done with the 2, if that's okay. Thank you. So for the existing policy you have with us, in fact, the purpose is the same. We actually specifically designed this one for Ghanaians abroad because to be able to buy the funeral solution, you have to be covered as well. And we had people from outside Ghana coming to Ghana wanting to buy the solution because they heard that it's, of what it does. They knew they needed it. And so they wanted to buy, but they couldn't buy because they had to cover themselves and they were not residents in Ghana. And so that is why we decided to design something different that will work for Ghanaians living abroad. And so now with this solution, you don't have to cover yourself. Even if you want to cover yourself, it's just the optional repatriation benefit, which is a service benefit that you get. It's not a life cover. So based on that, if you already have existing one here, once you relocate, nothing changes. The policy is still very much valid. So if you have that one, you can still keep that one intact. You don't need to convert it because at the end of the day, to serve the same purpose. But if the benefits on there is not much, you can actually buy that Akwantupa as a top-up. So if, I don't know how long you've had that policy, but in the past, our highest cover was even, I think, 22,000 for the other family members that you cover. And if you have the optional benefits updates, it will escalate over the period. So we have most clients who live outside Ghana, having our old policies when they were in Ghana, but the benefit is not very high. So if you are like that, you can actually buy the Akwantupa to add up if you want more benefits, but you don't need to change that policy or convert it to the Akwantupa. It's still, the same at the end of the day. And then with the issue about the legal laws, so this solution does not provide life cover for anyone who lives abroad. It provides life cover for your family members who are here in Ghana, because legally we cannot cover the residents of a country where we haven't registered our business in. So we cannot cover you. It's actually an online product which allows you to buy life cover for your family members who are here in Ghana, where we are legally operating. The repatriation benefit for the policyholder and the other family members, as I've said, is just a service. It's a service cover. It's not a life cover. And so it doesn't flout any laws anywhere outside Ghana. So I hope that answers your question. And
Yeah,
if you
thank you. It does. And the last
Great.
question was,
Yes.
I was saying that if in case I've insured my mom, and she succeeded the 6 months grace period, and after that 6 months she passed on. Are you paying full cover, or you are going to pay a percentage? And
Okay.
I've been on your policy since 2001.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we started. Okay. I hope you are not one of the people who walk in to say you want to cancel, because we've been doing this for so long and everybody's still alive by God's grace.
Please, I'm about canceling it, right? It's good you've I'll take your contact. I'll cancel it.
Oh, no. Please keep it up. Keep it up. It would actually serve a very good purpose later on. So thank you for your loyalty to us since 2001, since we started. Thank you so much. And for the question you asked, in fact, after the 6 months waiting period, you are qualified. So 6 months and a day, you get to claim your full cover, 100%. So if you selected 70,000, then at that date, if the event should occur, you are getting all the 70,000. It doesn't matter if maybe the premium you're paying was, let's say, 100 cedis, and so you have paid a total of 600 Ghana cedis for that, or 700 Ghana cedis for that 70,000 Ghana cedis. We would actually pay your full benefits, no percentages and all that, the full 100%.
Can we hear from Elizabeth and then Harry Jaku and then Portia? Elizabeth, you go first. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Sorry. Thank you for the presentation. It's very, very, very important for us to know. Can you give us an idea of how much you pay? Maybe say, if it is 10,000, 50,000 or 70, a rough idea. And also, is there anybody here who has also taken up the insurance you're talking about? Have they benefits? Is there any testimony on our platform?
Okay, I will take Harry
most of the time, things from Ghana are a little bit scary.
Okay.
We are wary of the things that we do when we are not there. So if anybody here can give us a little bit of assurance.
We'll take Harry Jaco's question, and then Portia can answer. Harry? Angari, unmute yourself. Angari, you're still muted.
Is it done now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go for it.
Now, is there an ombudsman or a watchdog organization that oversees insurance and life and insurance companies in Ghana? And if there is this company registered under that organization?
Okay, thanks. Portia, can you respond to these two questions?
Okay, thank you so much, Fred. The first question for Auntie Elizabeth, the premium rates. Could you let us have Auntie Elizabeth? Do you have any age in mind? Our premium rates are generated based on the ages of the people that you want to cover. So if you can give us an idea, or you want us to just get at random, we can do that for you.
Okay, maybe somebody above 50.
Okay, all right, thank you. So let's say 55, right? Okay. So Fred, can you just quickly let us have the rate of somebody age 55 on the highest benefit of 70,000?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to talk while to fill the void. It's basically Harry's and I've forgotten the other lady's comments. They are valid because the point is we are worried that we take the policy what recourse have we got if the company goes bust or something goes wrong? So that's the worry for us. That's what Harry's question is all about.
Yeah.
And the other lady before Harry as well, the same thing. We are wary of it, basically. I just didn't take up this policy because of certain not that reservation, other things about I'm going to die before my siblings and therefore, they can't afford it. But I thought it was a good policy. But then my mates keep asking me like, what happens if something goes wrong? Will they pay? And I mean, having paid 147 policies, it doesn't really, it doesn't tell me that it's really, really good. If they said they paid about 5,000 policies, then I'll be up for it.
Whilst you're waiting,
okay, so I think I'm ready with the rates.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, yeah. So for age 55, the 70,000, the monthly premium is 242 cedis, 242. For age 55, 70,000 is 242 cedis monthly.
Okay. Okay, so it's really, Fred, maybe when I'm done answering the question, you can convert it to pounds for Aunt Elizabeth to have, a real good picture of what we are talking about. Okay. So the thing about the testimonials, as I mentioned, I'll share the testimonials we have. These are clients who did it on their own. They didn't even inform, were there, and they sent us the video of the testimonials. And so we've had people giving us good feedback of their claims experience. So I'll share that with Mr. Obo for you to hear from them. But the issues about the trust issues, they are very valid. And we almost always get this concern, and that is what stops some people from taking up this solution, that they feel that it will help them, but they are not sure whether they'll pay. And it's basically because of some people's experience with insurance in Ghana, even the way things work in Ghana. So people are not very sure that, when they put in their money, they will get their money's worth at the end of the day. And so it's a very valid concern. But that is why when I started, I decided to take you through a little bit about the kind of company we are, our vision and our mission, what we stand for, what our parentage is, how many years of experience we have, who are our strategic partners, and all that, and what awards and recognitions we won over the period. Currently, as I said, we are the leading life insurance company in Ghana now. Between us and the second person, there's a huge gap. And it's all attributed to our high premium income. And as I mentioned, it is because if our claims experience is not good, we will not have clients giving us referrals and buying our solutions and making us the #1 consistently since 2016. So that is proof that if you want to deal with any insurance company in Ghana, you're looking for a company that pays claims. And so they are consistently the leader in the insurance space. Another reason is that we are also not focused on giving life solutions to Ghanaians in Ghana. This is a company that has 8 subsidiaries and big plans of expanding outside the reach of Ghana. And we know that we cannot do it by giving some services to clients or not paying claims and all that, or disappointing our clients when they really need us. Our plan is not just to take somebody's premiums and then not be there to pay claims when they need it. We want those clients to be raving fans of our brand, tell other people about it, and keep us, feeding us for us to grow our brand. And so with that in mind, you should be assured that this is not the regular kind of company that, some people deal with in Ghana here. For us, customer service we are customer centric. Everything we do, we are looking at the customer's gain because we understand how it affects our business and our brand. And so when it comes to issues of paying claims and all that, just go back to the slide that I showed about the kind of expertise we have, what we've built up over the period, and why we even launched this solution. And that should give you that assurance that it's not the regular kind of companies. Also being fully capitalized. And the other question was about regulation, whether we are regulated, who is regulating us. So the National Insurance Commission is the regulator for insurance companies in Ghana. And as I mentioned, when it comes to issues of capitalization, ensuring that insurance companies will be there to pay claims when they say they will pay claims to their clients, and they will not mismanage things and then go out of business and leave their customers stranded. NIC is responsible for this charge. The National Insurance Commission regulates insurance companies in Ghana. And if you go on the Akwantupa website, you will see their logo there. In fact, if you ask about us from the commissioner will tell you, when it comes to enterprise insurance and enterprise life, we are the pace setters in the insurance industry here in Ghana. And so we have done good business practices and paying claims to our clients have pushed us on a certain pedestal when it comes to the 47 insurance companies in Ghana. So you can do your search with the commissioner to find out what kind of company you'll be dealing with if you sign up on our solution. So NIC is the body that regulates us. And when it comes to the trusting our brand, as we said, we have 98 years of experience. We are registered on the Ghana Stock Exchange. For a company to be registered there, we all know that the due diligence has to be done. So it's not any company that will take your premiums and not pay claims. And then what Mr. Felix said about the 147 claims. In fact, we have sold 206,000 policies, but it's only 147 that have claimed. When we started this policy, I was managing it. The year 2017, when we launched it, we didn't have one claim. We were even sort of looking for somebody to claim so that we could have that person give us a testimonial. So we want to pay the claims. If the events are occurring, we'll definitely pay them. But unfortunately, it's just this 100, unfortunately, which is good news because it means that our clients have their parents and people they've covered our life. And we just have 147 people who have filed claims with us since we started in 2017. Our first claim came from a client in the UK in 2018, and then one in the US, and then it has been coming through from everywhere that people have bought our solutions. And so there's really little we can do about the number of policies we have and then the number of claims that we've actually done. But what I think we should focus on is the fact that out of this 147 people, we have paid 108. 73% of the people that filed. And there's nobody whose claim has been repudiated for any other reason than waiting period. We haven't had anybody where we say, we don't even have a situation where we repudiate claims based on the age that you gave as being incorrect. Even if it's incorrect, as long as it is within the 100 years band, we'll readjust and pay you. But it is only the waiting period that will repudiate. So I believe that we should focus on the 147 and the 108, other than the 147 and the number of policies, because we don't really have control over the number of claims that we receive. But what we have control on is the number of claims that will pay out if they are valid.
Thank you, Portia.
Okay, so,
for your
I just wanted to add something small to what Portia said.
All right, sorry.
Yes, so just about the time we received the invitation to come do this presentation, we did a comprehensive analysis on the claims that were repudiated. And we found out that almost 80% were people that we have spoken to, that if they had taken up the solution, they would have actually qualified for the claim. So timing is of essence. Okay, so enterprise life, we are here to pay claims. We always will find reasons to pay claims rather than repudiate, okay? Because we don't do any medical underwriting, that is why there's that 6 months waiting period. And so it is really important that once you have bought into the value that Akwantupa has to offer you, you have to act fast. I am always in contact with customers 24/7 because of time difference. There's no problem with that. And it really saddens my heart when you are speaking with a client, they bought into the value, but because of 1 or 2 misgivings, they delay in making a payment or signing up. And then when they finally do, maybe they are caught in the waiting period. We are here, and I can stick my head and then say that once you are claimed, you are qualified, at no point enterprise is going to say, we are not going to pay your claim. It will never happen because we have the capacity and then we can pay.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick AJ. I've got a comment in the chat. It's from Rita. It says, excellent presentation by Portia, really good. You can type your questions in the chat box or answer them. I can also, I'm a policy holder, and I can confirm that my younger sister, who also had a policy, got claimed and got a payout when my dad passed about 4 years ago. And that's how I got to know about the policy. And when my sister made a claim and got a payout about 4 years ago. So I'm a policy holder. Fred, I see Fred, your hand is up, and Paul. Fred, if you can unmute and ask your question.
Thank you very much. So yes, I'm also a policy holder. I've been with the enterprise or Akwantupa for I think a year and plus now, and it's still going. My question is, can you upgrade? So, for instance, you started a policy, let's say 50,000. Can you upgrade to maybe 70,000? Is it possible to upgrade? So it means that the premium that you are paying now, the premium you are paying each month, I'm asking whether you can upgrade it, so that you can also upgrade the payout. Yeah. Secondly, if you are to add, I think when you say that you have to add someone, it will be 1 year instead of 6 months. And if you have already cleared 6 months and you want to add a second person to it, is it just 6 months for the second person, or is going to be 1 year for the second person? And that's the question.
Okay, Portia, please, can I take the question?
Sorry,
yeah, sure, Fred, please proceed. Sure.
Okay, all right. So with the issue of upgrading the package, you have to know the type of the policy you are on, whether it is the enhanced version or it is the revised. On the revised, the maximum package you can have from a start is the 50,000. And so if it is the revised, then that will mean that you can't upgrade it anymore because that is the highest. But if it is then enhanced, yes, you can upgrade it to maybe a 60 or a 70,000. And when you upgrade to a higher package, you go through a 6 months waiting period for the upgraded benefit. And so the two will be running concurrent. So if there's, whilst you are in the waiting period for the upgraded benefit, the old sum assured will be paid. The old sum assured will be paid, and then refund 50% of the premium paid for the upgraded benefit. So that is that. And then the second question has to do with adding a life after a policy is in force. Yes, when you add a life, when you have a policy already in force, the person will go through a 1 year waiting period. But like we always say at Enterprise, we are here for your advantage. And so I would advise that if there's a new person that you want to put on the policy, instead of adding the person on to go through that 1 year waiting period, you can sign up an entirely new policy. You can have as many policies as you want, provided they are covering different persons. So you can sign up an entirely new policy to cover this new person so that you just go through that 6 months waiting period instead of adding the person to go through a 1 year waiting period.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Paul, have you got your hand up again?
Yes, please.
From the previous
Yes,
one?
please. No, not the previous one. It's the current one.
Okay.
Portia, when you were making your presentation, you made mention of the insurance, the NIC ensuring that the sustainability there. So they increased the threshold to 50 million, which enterprise insurance is currently in good standing. Playing the devil's advocate, let's assume that you are going to do this policy for 15 years. Mm-hmm. There is a new policy, and they raise the threshold to an amount that enterprise insurance cannot contain. Is there any insurance covered the premium we are paying for payment, so that the issue of other banks that will collapse is not as rising that will not affect us? And I know, just on a lighter note, currently your major shareholder is the Minister of Finance, so therefore you can have all the funds to do whatever you want to do. In the near future, what do we do? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul, for your question. A very valid one. So enterprise, as I mentioned, we've been in Ghana for 98 years. We are older than the Ghana Constitution. So all these issues that have come up, it is our expertise that have built up to this level. And so some of these issues, you know, we refrain from commenting because we don't want to say the wrong thing that will give people some wrong information out there. But we have been working so hard for over the period. Enterprise, we are aggressive with our sales. We are we think through about solutions, come up with relevant solutions for the Ghanaian market. And so his influence, I mean, he doesn't have much influence on what we do here. It's just a perception out there. But with your question about whether when the NIC raises the threshold, in fact, when they are doing these things, in fact, if they raise the threshold, then I think, I don't know which company that would not, if enterprise would not meet it, I don't know which company would. Because you see, as I mentioned, if we look at the current statistics, even with us and the person with number 2, the gap is really wide. We own 24-point-something% of the market share for enterprise for insurance, life insurance products, and so the gap is very wide between us and the next second person when it comes to premium income. So if they are supposed to raise this, they will not, you know, put it at any unreasonable amount. It will be an amount that reasonably insurance companies should be able to meet. And you can be sure that if any company would meet it, it is enterprise like, because as I said, we have 400% of that minimum capital requirements. So I don't know how much they would raise it that we will not be able to meet. So with us, you are guaranteed that. But another thing is that the NIC is here managing insurance companies in Ghana, but for the interest of policyholders as well. That is one of their main purposes. They are doing this for the interest of policyholders. So they have a lot of things in place that helps policyholders when an insurance company goes out of business. They have things in place that have been designed to help policyholders not to suffer because of the loss of a company. One of it is the minimum capital requirements. Another thing is a fund that they call Client Rescue Fund, that is supposed to help mitigate these things when an insurance company goes out of business. But the commissioner too has not done his job if he allows a company to go out of business. There are other solutions like merging 2 companies into one if both of them do not have the capital. In fact, that is even happening now as I speak to you in the insurance industry. Some companies are merging, others are taking over other insurance companies because they are not able to meet it. So those are other options that are in place to ensure that the customer does not lose out if a company is not able to sustain its business. But even that, if that happens, they have measures in place that helps to protect the interest of the customer.
Thank you. Portia, can you give us a brief summary of what you've said in any Ghanaian language that you are comfortable?
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, maybe I should leave that off to Fred because I'm good with Tree, but when I start with English, then Fred, are you able to wrap it up in Tree?
Okay.
Well,
Okay, nti yebebo ni nyina tofa na yaka say insurance ayade bi a ehu hia especially say Akwantupa policy ya yama Ghana for mote amanani na say ma develop and say manya opepa ewo sa policy we see mu yebebo machidom na yabom mo betu so say Mobeba on board. You come on board for us to do business. For us to do business, you are here because you are there for us, and we're also here for you. And you know, you're born in out of any akase. At no point say a claim will occur near Becca say we are not going to pay the claim. Yintia. Pacho there be me sure say bibisa ABC enti no me maame no me papa no me nuanom panifo a ye di ahia mu ha say se obi wo ha na se oye interested Mr. Obo ho pacho mbetimu de mu information amano Mr. Obonso ebe getting in touch with us. Now you're taking off the buttons from there.
Okay, that's it, Fred. I see if you've got more questions, we will take them. Any more questions? If there are no more questions, we will bring this to an end formally. And if Portia and Akwantupa, Fred, they don't mind. Okay, it doesn't matter. I should be some question.
So I clear. Now, set forms to everything, and I'm saying so boy, and if it may be access, be free now. It's any problem. Maybe I'm joining right now, but I'll go and see Mr. Obo so that I can start from there.
No problem. It doesn't matter. I'm the best sender. So it will be no questions that we can bring this to an end formally, and then if Portia and Frederick, if you have time, I'll see if you can stay on and people can just have a chit chat with you about it. But if you have time, we want to bring our meeting formally to an end, and then will be up a question, and then you can talk freely. I'll stop the recording. I'll hand over to my chairman, Fred. Is Fred around?
Yes. Okay. Go here.
Fred, yes, please.
Yeah. Appa. Thank you very much. Appa. Yes.
That is Fred.
Sorry about that. My grandson is still here.
Okay.
I do apologize. So, on behalf of the Ghana Welfare Association, I want to say thank you very much to Portia and Fred for taking time off their busy schedule to come and explain things to us. And shall we all put our hands together for them? Wherever you are, if you can unmute yourself and put your hands together for them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very much. We've learned a lot from this presentation, and I believe that people on this platform or this group who are also part of other platforms or other groups can also arrange for you to come and give presentation in their groups. We have people from various churches and other groups on the platform. So if you hear from some of us, we may invite you to come and talk to our groups, and because this will help all of us, and also it will help our families back home, and it will also, release all the financial burden on us, especially when it comes to funeral. I remember when my father passed away, I had to bear the cost of the funeral because I'm in abroad. But if I had something like this, it would have cushioned me for that kind of funeral. So that is why when I heard about it, I took a cover for my mother, and now I want to take a cover for other people in Ghana as well. Thank you very much. And we also want to say a big thank you to all of you Ghana Welfare Association members who are on the platform, who came for the meeting today. God richly bless you all for your time. And I believe you've also picked something from this conversation. I believe that we'll do the needful. Thank you very much. So on behalf of the executive, I want to say thank you to everyone, and also to bring the curtain to an end. We might leave the platform, but if you want to converse or chat, you'll still be there. You can still be on the platform to chat. So we'll bring the meeting to a close. Unless somebody has a question to ask, other than that, we'll bring the meeting to a close. Is there any question, any hand up? Okay, if there's no hand up, let's pray. Shall we ask Ede Dumata to pray for us? And he can pray in Chi or any language at all he prefers.
Okay, yeah, bumpy. You're ready, Pia. That was enumerate. Well, I open now, Odia Desia,
ɛwɔ din mu anwummere Awurade yɛhyɛ meeting ase yɛde wo din hyɛ wonam dom so ama yɛaba nkonimdie mu awie pa yɛde aseda ne ayɛyi ma wo yɛda wase wɔ Ghana Welfare Association odom a ɛnsa da wode adom yɛ a wasɔ kue mu ne kue kɔ n'anim sɛdeɛ wopɛ yɛda wase wɔ insurance company a menyame wonam dom so na wɔbi kwan na ɛbɛboa yɛn titiri Ghanafoɔ ɛwɔ akwantuo mu yɛnim sɛ wobɔma yɛn mu akwankyerɛ pa na ma biribiara akɔ so asomdwee mu yɛfiri ha yi ka yɛn ho na bɔ yɛn ho ban ɛmɔbɔne bi anka yɛn yɛsan di ahyia bi mu a yɛde ɔno aseɛ ne wayɛ yɛ ama wo yɛda wase sɛ wɔka yɛn ho honhom fam ne honam fam ɛwɔ dɔba Jesus Christ din mu nti amen.
Amen. Amen. God bless you all and have a wonderful evening.
So I'll put the recording on the platform, share all the links with you. So I'll stop the recording and Portia and Fred are here.